Other interesting political news, you have a Biden speech in which he says, 4 more years, pause. Thereby saying the directions out loud. Which I could understand maybe being a faux pas or a brain fart. I mean, truth be told, if you tuned into this show before, I've made many mistakes and will continue to for years. Though I do have a theory. If you click the subscribe button, it kind of helps. I've noticed when I first started the show, not a lot of subscribers, not a lot of views, and I stumbled over my words a lot, spoke even faster at a rate of pace, and truth be told, it was a little bit of a monotone. But as more and more people have subscribed, it's slowly gotten better, and my speaking ineptitudes have decreased. Some might argue it's just a modicum of improvement, but an improvement to say the least, I would argue. So again, if you can click that subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. So, I don't know, given his age, cognitive decline, I don't think this is just a brain fart. I think it's not a one-off mistake. It's a pattern we're seeing more and more of. Now, this was first actually reported thanks to Clay Travis on X Twitter, and he says, quote, Joe Biden read the instruction, pause on the teleprompter, the guy is Ron Burgundy, just keeps getting worse. True. But at least he does wear a suit. I was about to say he does something right. His person who clothes him does something right. Let's see if we got some sound here. Interesting enough, it looks like he has an American flag lapel pin. Might do a screenshot. No one will believe me. That's pretty rare. Let's see here.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Imagine what.
Are they trained SEALs? Again, he has lots of fans. He has millions of people who vote for him. Don't get me wrong. But I'd love to get the room. It's almost as if they were asking for cue cards. I think some people in the comments reference that too. But yeah, I know people are passionate about hating Trump. I know people who are passionate about loving Trump. I really have never met anyone passionate about wanting to vote for Biden or passionate about his campaign or what he's done. I've met people who are kind of like lukewarm, old school Democrats, like, he's a Democrat, I'll vote for him, he's all right. Like, have you ever met anyone who's enthusiastic about Biden? Have you ever met, I still wonder, have you ever seen a single Biden hat or a flag or a t-shirt or a mug or a sticker? With the exception of a college campus, I have not seen any of those. But let's do it one more time before we look at the comments. It is hilariously inept.
What we can do next. 4 more years. Pause.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
I mean, how many notes? 4 more years, pause. He can't remember 3 words? And that's half his campaign is just saying that, like 4 more years. That's one of the easiest things to remember. It's the duration of your term. And yet, he had to read the teleprompter for that. I mean, I have a rudimentary teleprompter in front of me. It's just my computer monitor that I throw a little Word document on. And I just usually read the headline of these, and I'll read a little bit of if I'm quoting an article. But I can't imagine not knowing 3 words and being able to remember and memorize 3 words. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all his fans are in the comments defending him and saying he just had a small mistake, and it can happen to anyone. I mean, probably not, but let's dive in the comments and see what folks are saying. Looks like that guy behind him is just, thinking in his head, dear God, we need to stop letting him talk. It went pretty viral. Got 1.6 million views last week and 24,000 likes. And one of the first comments comes from Brad Baca saying, quote, even the chant is coordinating, getting 461 likes. Now, interesting enough, I mean, on the show, we usually talk about Luke Zaleski because I follow him to get some contrarian statements in the comments. And if you follow someone, that's where you see them. There will be one of the first comments. And yet, I don't see him ever defending him. Like, I don't see any... Again, we'll see if there's any people that are defending Biden here. Like, again, where's the excitement to vote for him? Mason Branch says, quote, this elder abuse needs to stop, getting 167 likes. Let's have a conversation. Says, quote, the worst part IMO is that this tells you the 4 more years chant wasn't organic, getting 367 likes. Which, yeah. Blake Ferguson says, quote, convenient that there's a pause right when the chanting starts, almost as if they're holding up cue cards for the audience, getting 166 likes. Jay Hillenberg says, quote, the world is watching and laughing, getting 24 likes. Dilbert says, quote, pretty obvious he's not the one running things, getting 26 likes. Janet Fine-Cannon says, quote, and its supporters are just as bad, getting 18 likes. Sky Guy simply says, this guy is toast, we're in for troubled waters, getting 20 likes. Joe says, quote, this is funny, Ron Burgundy getting 34 likes. Matt Griffin also says, Ron Burgundy, Internet Gold getting 69 likes. Which, again, you need a lot of technical acumen in terms of offensive cybersecurity capabilities, but if you could somehow actually hack into the teleprompter, I mean, that would be priceless, because I think he would say anything you put on that teleprompter. No matter what it says, he would just do it. So again, everything surrounding government officials, they're protected pretty damn well. But that would be, as far as Anonymous or some hacking organization hasn't tried that, because again, he would read it. It would be hilarious to say the least. One more. We'll do Sherry Baker. She says, I love these videos. What Clown's getting 81 likes. Let's see here. I spoke too soon. Brad Miller has a meme says PW the United States getting 57 likes. Let's see here. E-Bell says, quote, Biden's screenwriter adding stage directions to the teleprompter is Austin Powers looking with a smirk. It says, I also like to live dangerously, getting 53 likes. Relic says, got him, is a picture of Ron Burgundy, and he says, and I'm Ron Burgundy, and he says, pause. I got 18 likes. So yeah, it doesn't look good. It just adds to the concerns that most everyone has around his campaign, which, again, one of the top concerns is his age and his mental decline, which I think a lot of people have finally gotten to the point where they understand, no, it's not just a stutter, which if you look at historically at his other speeches and throughout his life, he did have somewhat of a stutter. But there's a huge distinct difference between a stutter and fumbling and reading things out loud, fumbling more than usual. Like, usually a stutter, and if you tune in on to the show, you'll hear a stutter. I mean, I am a case in point, a great example of someone who has a stutter. It's gotten slightly better throughout the years with practice, but obviously a lot of room for improvement. But this clearly isn't a stutter. And I can't really think the more his team lets him talk, the less people are willing to vote for him. If he wants to win, his advisors, surely they'll just do copy-paste from the old campaign book where they ran in 2020, or just ran it from his basement. That worked. That was effective, rather. I can barely speak myself. But if you click the subscribe button, I'd so greatly appreciate it. It might help. I mean, 2020, the focus was on Trump. Biden just was in the basement. He didn't have to speak. It worked. He got elected. Millions of people voted for him. I still think he could do that. That methodology would be more effective. And again, see, another great example of stuttering. But let me go. Do you think they'll actually allow him to talk more? Do you think they'll learn? His campaign staff will say, hey, Mr. President, we need to be in a more controlled environment. They'll take videos that they can edit to make him look more not falling apart and human. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.